Good evening and welcome to Sunday Morning Beers, nighttime edition. As promised, well, you would only know if you read the Forestry Brewery newsletter. As promised, that we were doing a evening edition because we were out of town. Just got back, as a matter of fact, and we're thirsty. We're thirsty.
We need to decompress.
So decompose.
Decompress.
So let's dive into a beer. It smells good. This was a birthday beer. We're still really behind on the beers. Still have beers down there from before Great Taste of the Midwest, which was in August. We're now middle of October, coming into the third week of October, I guess, actually. So this was, we have some beers that are older than that. But then when we were in Ohio, we went to our favorite beer store, the VE Lounge, and we just bought a whole bunch more beers. Because we always like to get stuff, that we can't get here. So this is, let's just tell you about what we got here. This was a birthday beer. Thanks, Pete. And this was recommended by Annette over at Merchants. This is from Arbor Brewing Company, actually Corner Brewing Company. Sobido 2013. It's a barrel-aged blonde ale. So pretty fancy bottle there.
Would you consider this a blonde colored ale?
Definitely not blonde colored, but I would imagine probably picked up some barrel color.
It's got some floaties.
Very aromatic. Opening it up. Definitely some barrel, a lot of barrel character to it.
Very sour.
Highly recommended by Annette, she said.
It's very good.
It is very tasty. It has got a lot of
sour notes.
Sour notes to it. Light with the malt character to it. A lot of, I love the aroma to it. It's very sour, funky, complex, very complex aroma.
Like I said, it's got a lot of floaters.
A lot going on in there. It's a lot of woody character to it. It's much different. The sourness much different than a Jolly Pumpkin, any of the Jolly Pumpkin sour beers. I would say
it's more woody.
It is very woody, and I could swear that I'm getting some bourbon notes out of that.
Maybe.
I think I'm getting some bourbon out of that.
It is nice. It's really nice.
It's delicious. It's tasty. It is definitely the nicest beer that I've had from Corner Arbor. For sure. It's very unique, very complex. Yeah, you got a lot of floaties in yours. You must have got the sediment from the bottom of the bottle.
You probably poured me the bottom of the bottle, right?
Probably poured the bottom of the bottle. It's tasty. Highly recommend that. Good call on that, Annette. I don't see a price on this one here. Don't know how much it is.
Because it was a birthday beer.
Yeah, well, the other ones had prices on them.
They did?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
So look for that, though. Look for that. It's tasty. I'm sure it's worth the price. Let's put it that way. So we had a big weekend. We went home for Tracy's homecoming in Youngstown State University. The Penguins, go Penguins.
Mighty Penguins.
And
Fear the Penguins.
who actually, their football team, their only loss this season was to Michigan State.
Wow.
So we went to the game, and a classic football game weather, cold, windy, rainy. One of the few, we were some of the few brave souls
that
stayed till the end of the game.
We didn't go to the beginning of the game because it was a torrential downpour.
But we were there at the cold, bitter dark end. So that was big. We made the trip there to see.
Caught football. I caught a couple. I was sharing them with the crowd.
And we have a huge weekend coming up, which we're going to try to do. I think it was last year that we did an episode. At the Fall Festival, the Michigan Brewers Guild Fall Festival. We're going to try to do an episode this week. It'll be it's Friday and Saturday. This is the second year where it's 2 days. The Michigan Brewers Guild Fall Festival down in the Eastern Market. Sold out, so of course you're not getting tickets to it. But if you are going, you definitely want to stop by our booth. Even if you're a regular at Forestry Brewery, don't say, well, I'm there all the time, it's I can get their beers anytime. No, you can't, because we always make special stuff that we take to the festival. Small batches that basically, if you don't get them at the festival, you're not going to get.
Yeah.
So I have a few new things. Not taking as many beers as I took to the summer festival. Not taking as many beers as I normally take to any stuff like this. But I still have some pretty exciting stuff. I have a blended sake, 2 different sakes that I blended together. I have a squash beer. And this is different than the squash beer that we had at the brewery for the Harvest Festival.
Okay.
I have a locally grown wet hopped beer. I have a wet hopped beer with hops from Traverse City. What else do I have?
You won't have me there.
No, unfortunately, Tracy will be joining us for dinner afterwards. It's the thing that we look forward to at the festival because I'm sacrificing my only day off, and it's a short night. We'll leave the brewery and then a few hours later, we're there at the festival. So we look forward to going out to dinner afterwards. We're going to Slows. We're going to Slows. Pretty excited about that. Which we'll talk a little bit about that next week's episode. But like I said, new beers. I can't remember exactly how many new beers. There's 4 or 5 new beers, so definitely come by the booth. And some of the beers will do special releases. A couple of them will be on tap, and then we'll be releasing them as the day goes by. So definitely want to stop by the booth.
And we'll be taking my bottle cap necklace jewelry.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
if you want to stop by and take a look at those.
Very nice jewelry on sale. Cheap plug by Tracy there. We'll be selling it even though Tracy won't be there.
That's right.
So hopefully we'll have some good weather. Hopefully it'll be better next Saturday than it was this Saturday in Youngstown, because that was not the kind of weather that you want to be sitting outside all day, and especially when we weren't really prepared for the weather. I don't think I was more prepared than you guys because I had my splash jacket on, so at least I was dry.
I think you would have still gotten pretty wet.
It's sitting on cold metal benches, even when it's only it was what, like 46 degrees or something like that.
But still,
that
there's nobody around you.
That feels much colder. Yeah, and there was nobody there to break the wind.
It was in the Ice Castle, which is a very tall stadium on the hill in Youngstown, so it's way, way up and it's very
So the beer festival, it could be it's a little bit more enclosed, so you won't get the wind so much. But I remember the first year that it was Eastern Market. Remember, it was windy and raining, and the rain was actually blowing sideways. That was not real pleasant. But when you're drinking beer, it's always better.
And it's not muddy.
But definitely come prepared. Come prepared for it to be bad weather, and then dress in layers. They say dress in layers.
Definitely wear
so you'll be more comfortable, and avoid standing in line for something that you can get in the store. That's what I say. Avoid standing in a long line for something you get started. Because always the longest lines, if you've never been to a beer festival before, Beer Festival 101, the longest lines are always for the most common beers. So if you see a long line, just assume it's something you can get in the store and don't wait in it. So there's no reason. There's lots of breweries. There's no reason to wait in line. There isn't. Unless it's the hourly release thing. Because a lot of the breweries do the hourly release things like we are. So that's worth waiting in line for because it's not going to be around very long. So that is worth waiting in line for. And of course, 4th Street Brewery is always worth waiting in line for. So we will see you. Hopefully, like I said, we'll be doing a sort of live episode next week at the festival. So we will see you for that, and we'll kind of do the post-festival wind down, all of that stuff. So we'll see you for that. We'll see you, even though we're taking all those new beers at the festival, we're still going to have 2 new beers at the brewery on Thursday.
And don't forget Halloween's coming.
Halloween,
that'll be here before you know
well, that's we'll have a whole other episode before that because it's a week from. It's almost 2 weeks from now.
Okay.
It's a week from Thursday.
Well, so think of your costumes.
But do think of your costume because we are having a costume contest at the brewery and 2 new beers as well. So just a plethora of new beers. Like I said, a bunch of new beers going to the festival, 2 new beers this Thursday, a bunch of beers going to the festival, and then 2 new beers for Halloween. So lots to think about. So we're going to drink this beer and relax after our long weekend road trip. And we'll see you at 4th Street Brewery this week and